Hi everybody, welcome to class today. So the first thing that we're going to start with today is looking at your entrance ticket. So if you haven't already done your entrance ticket, if someone could just pause the video and then unpause it once most people have completed the entrance ticket. So maybe like 10-ish, 7 to 10 minutes, somewhere around there. And then we'll grade it together. Okay, so hopefully you guys have completed your entrance ticket now. So grab out another color of pen or something like that to grade it with. So I'm going to have you guys put a score on your own and turn it in today so I can see it when I get back. So let's go ahead and solve these together. So the first one, a square park has a diagonal walkway from one corner to another. If the walkway is 38 yards long, what's the length of the side of the park? So since this is a square, that means that I know that this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. The rule for the 45, 45, 90 triangle was that across from the 90-degree angle is x square root of 2. And across from the 45-degree angles is represented by x. So that means that 38 equals x square root of 2. So I can solve for x. I'm going to solve for x by dividing by square root of 2 on both sides. And I will cross these out on the right side because they divide to 1. So x equals 38 divided by the square root of 2. Remember though, we talked about we don't want to leave a radical in the denominator. So to rationalize my denominator, I'm going to multiply by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2. This gives me 38 square root of 2 over 2, which I can further simplify to, let's see, I'm trying to do fast math in my head. Let's see, 19 square root of 2. So the length of one side of the park is 19 square root of 2 yards. Okay, next one. Step 2, find the missing sides of the right triangle. So this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Across from 30 is x. Across from 90 is 2x. Across from 60 is x root 3. So if I know that 2x equals 10, that means x is 5. So this bottom side is 5, and that means that this left side is 5 root 3. Next on this one, again 30, 60, 90, across from 30 is x, across from 90 is 2x, and across from 60 is x root 3, which means that x root 3 equals 18. So I'm going to solve for x, so divide by the square root of 3. So x equals 18 divided by the square root of 3, but we don't want to leave the square root in the bottom, so we multiply by square root of 3 over square root of 3 to get 18 root 3 over 3, which simplifies to 6 root 3. So that means that this bottom side is 6 root 3, and the hypotenuse is 12 root 3. And the last one was a little bit more challenging. You guys may or may not have known how to solve this one. We're going to do some more practice on ones like this today. But let's go ahead and talk about this one. So I'm going to start on the triangle where I actually have some information already. So I'm going to look at the triangle on the right, solve for all my side lengths there, and then I'll solve for all my side lengths on the other triangle. So this is a 40, 45, 90 triangle on the right side. I know that across from 90 in a 45, 45, 90 triangle is always x root 2, and my other sides are represented by x. So 9 root 2 equals x root 2, which means that x is 9. So that means that this side of my triangle is 9, and it means that p is equal to 9. So p is 9. Now I'm going to look at my second triangle. So for my second triangle, I know that across from 60 is always x root 3. Across from 90 is always 2x. And across from 30 is x. So that shows me that x root 3 equals 9. So divide by the square root of 3 on both sides. X equals 9 divided by root 3. We're going to rationalize root 3 over root 3 to get 9 root 3 over 3, or x equals 3 square root of 3. So the bottom of this triangle is 3 square root of 3, which means if that's x and r is 2x, it means that my r side is 2 times that, or 6 root 3. So r equals 6 root 3. Okay, so that is your entrance ticket. So there are 4 questions. So if you got all 4 correct and you feel confident, give yourself a 5. If you almost got all 4 correct, but maybe you made a little error that you are totally confident about now, give yourself a 4. If you missed, let's see, if you missed 1, give yourself a 3. If you missed 2, give yourself a 2. And if you missed 3, go ahead and give yourself a 1. Actually, let's change that. If you missed 2, let's do, sorry guys. If you missed 1, let's let that be a 4. If you missed 2, that's a 3. If you missed 3, that's a 2. And if you missed all 4, then that's a 1. Okay, so if you didn't catch that, that's okay. Give yourself a score that you feel like you earned and that you feel comfortable with on the top of your paper. Circle it, double check that your name is on the top, stack those in the middle of your table, and I'll ask the substitute to come around to your tables and pick those up, and I will tag those into the gradebook in our ungraded category like normal when I get back. Okay, so next up, well actually I'll go ahead and pause the video and do that, and then you can unpause the video and we will continue. Okay, so next up today, I'm just going to work out a couple of problems on the practice with you and then give you guys some directions for how you're going to be practicing today. Also, I just want to give you guys a heads up that next time you come to class, we will have our formative over this topic. And in case you haven't heard me say this before, remember that all these 45, 45, 90, and 30, 60, 90 rules, you are required to memorize these. I know that they are on the formula chart, but you are not allowed to have a formula chart with you on your next assessment, okay? So just double check that you have these rules memorized. Okay, so next thing, everybody go ahead and find this practice that you guys picked up. I'm going to work through a couple of these with you, and then I'm going to let you guys do some practice on your own. Okay, so let's do number 1 together. So number 1, find the value of each variable, and we're going to write our answers in simplest radical form. Okay, so the value of each variable in here. So we want to find the base of this trapezoid essentially, and we want to find the side length. So in this triangle over here that we have on the right, this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So again, I'm just going to write in my x's. I know across from 45 is always x. The hypotenuse is x root 2. And the other leg is also x, which means that 12 is x. So the height of this trapezoid is x. Let's see here. So that means that the bottom of this triangle right here, this bottom piece, is also 12 because that's also x. And the side length is 12 root 2. So that's B because this trapezoid is not symmetric. Well, hang on. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud while I'm working this through with you. Okay, so that side length is 12. Okay, the next thing I'm noticing when I'm solving this one out is that we have some parallel lines, which might be helpful to me. I know they're parallel because of these arrows, so I'm just thinking about that. And then I also see that I have 60 degrees over here, which means I can make myself another triangle. That this purple one now is going to be a 30, 60, 90 triangle. And since these lines are parallel, actually, oops, didn't mean to do that. Since this top line and this bottom line here are parallel, it means that the distance between them should always be constant, which means that if my dotted line was 12, this line also should be 12. So now I can solve this one as a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So remember that across from 60 is always x root 3. And so in this case, 12 equals x square root of 3. So I'm going to solve for x. So square root of 3, square root of 3. So x equals 12 over root 3. So now I'm just going to rationalize and multiply by root 3 over root 3. So times square root of 3 over square root of 3. Which gets me 4 square root of 3. Okay, so what that means is I have solved for, let's see, this orange bit right here, because this orange bit is across from my 30-degree angle in that triangle, and so that is x since I have solved for x. So if in order to find a, the a distance of the whole bottom, I have this orange bit, which is 4 root 3. I have this purple bit right here in the middle, which is 10, and we have this green bit on the right side, which we said was 12. So we can add all that together to find a. So a equals 4 root 3 plus 10 plus 12. And let's combine like terms. So combining like terms, I can only combine my 10 and my 12. Because my 4 is attached to a radical, I can't combine it with anything else that doesn't have the same radical. So 4 root 3 plus 22 is a. To get b, I'm going to go back to that 30, 60, 90 triangle. Pick a different pen color here. So to solve for b, b is across from my 90-degree angle. I know that across from 90 is always 2x in 30, 60, 90. And if I solve for x is 4 square root of 3, that means that 2x is going to be 8 square root of 3. So b is 8 square root of 3. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and try another one together. Let's see. Let's do number 3. So for number 3, find the perimeter of a square if a diagonal length is 12 feet. Okay, we always got to start these guys with a picture. Drawing a picture is your best friend, so draw yourself a square. We know that square is going to have a diagonal, so I'm going to draw my diagonal, drawing my right angles, labeling the diagonal length that I know. And I want to find the perimeter, okay, which means I need to first focus on one side length. Now, from our class the other day, we learned that when we put a diagonal in a square, we make 45-degree angles. So now you're looking at a 45, 45, 90 triangle. We know in a 45, 45, 90 triangle that across from the 90-degree angle is x root 2. That means that 12 is equal to x root 2. So let's solve for x. Divide by root 2 on both sides. So x equals 12 divided by square root of 2. Now we will multiply by root 2 over root 2 to get 12 root 2 over 2, or 6 root 2. Now that is one side length. So one side length is 6 root 2. And to find the perimeter, though, that's what we were asked for. The perimeter is 4 side lengths. So 4 times 6 root 2 is going to give us 24 root 2 feet. Okay, let me pick another one for us to do. Let's see here. Let's do this one, calculating the area of the triangle. Okay, so to find the area of a triangle, area is base times height. Remember that base times height are always perpendicular. So that's going to be a and 8. Since I'm looking at a 30, 60, 90 triangle, I can find a. So 60 is across from x root 3 always. So that means that x root 3 equals 8. So I can divide by root 3 on both sides to solve for x. So I'm going to rationalize, multiply by root 3 over root 3, and get 8 root 3 over 3 is x. Okay, so my a side, which is across from 30, and remember x is always across from 30, so a is 8 root 3 over 3. Okay, so to find our area, we can plug into our area formula, which is base times height divided by 2. I'm going to do the base times height first, and then I'll divide by 2 after I have finished all that. So let's do base times height first. So this is my base, 8 times my height. So 8 over 1 times 8 root 3 over 3. When I multiply fractions, I'm going to multiply the top, so 64 root 3, and the bottom 3. Okay, so let's see, is 3 going to 64? I don't know that off the top of my head. Nope, it does not. Okay, so that's as simplified as it can get. So now we need to do the divided by 2 part. So 64 root 3 over 3, all divided by 2. Or remember that we can also think of it as 1/2 base times height. So we can do, let's see, I'm thinking about what would be the best way to write this down. Let me think about. Well, yeah, I'll just do it that way. So this is our base times height times 1/2. Let's do it this way. It's times 1/2, so 64 root 3 over 6. And let's see, 64 divided by 6, I can divide both of those by 2 to simplify a little bit further. So I can do, let's see, 64 divided by 2 is 32 root 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So my area of the triangle would be 32 square root of 3 over 3 millimeters squared. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think that you guys can try the other ones on your own. For problems like this, of course, split it up into where you see a triangle that you can solve with to start with. If you guys get stuck, help each other, ask each other questions to figure it out. And let's see. I want you guys to finish this for sure by the end of class. So you need to be working until you have this all the way done. And you need to check your answers on Canvas before you pack up and everything. But also there's one more thing on Canvas that you can be working on. So one other thing is going to look like, let's see, where is it? Like this. This is the other handout that you picked up. So these questions belong to an escape Google form. So to find the Google form, you're going to go on Canvas, and the Google form is how you're going to check your answers on this one. So there are 4 questions here that you can solve, but don't start solving them yet because the Google form will tell you which ones to solve first because it's kind of like an escape room breakout thing. So you guys can be working on this also. It has a little bit more than 4 questions on the Google form, but these first 4 I went ahead and printed out for you. So Google form is located on Canvas. You guys need to be spending this period, working well, helping each other out, checking your answers on Canvas, so that you can get some good work in before your formative next class. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day.